I used to think I had a healthy relationship with alcohol. I mean, doesn't everyone drink on the weekends? Isn't that just what people do? We work hard during the week, then we go grab a drink with friends to unwind. It's normal, right? At least that's what I told myself. Here's the thing about being normal. It's often just a collective behavior that we've never bothered to question. Like fish swimming in water. We don't notice it until we step outside of it. My step outside the quote-unquote normal started with a simple experiment. Dry January. Just 31 days. That's all it was supposed to be. A reset after the holidays, a chance to prove myself that I could do it, that I didn't need alcohol. Those 31 days turned into 3 months, and then 3 months became a year. This isn't a story about addiction, though if you are struggling with alcoholism, please seek professional help. This is just my story about how questioning the default settings of our lives and what happens when you decide to live a little different. So, this is what I learned during my year without alcohol. When you remove alcohol from your life, you expect certain things to change, like better sleep, more money in your bank account, fewer Sunday morning regrets. But what nobody tells you is about how it ripples through every aspect of your life, forcing you to sort of confront truths that you've been too drunk to notice. Here's something that may surprise or may not surprise you. My social life got a lot worse before it got better. I lost some friends, not because they were bad friends, but because our entire relationship was kind of built around drinking and getting fucked up. Take away the drinks, and suddenly we had to face the awkward silence of realizing we didn't have much else in common. But that's when something interesting happened. The friendships that remained grew deeper. Conversations became more meaningful. I started connecting with people who shared interests beyond getting drunk together. I discovered that alcohol wasn't enhancing my social life, it was just masking my need for genuine connection. Dating without alcohol is like watching a movie without special effects. Everything becomes more real. The first few dates were terrifying. I felt naked without the liquid courage I always relied on. Every awkward silence felt eternal. Every joke that didn't land stung a little more. But 6 months in, I noticed something interesting. I wasn't just dating differently, I was kind of choosing the people who I wanted to date differently. Without alcohol, first dates became more about genuine conversation instead of terrible drunken chat. Physical attraction remained important, but personality became paramount. I stopped settling for surface level connections because they were just easy. So yes, dating became harder, but it also became more meaningful. Let's talk about what happens to your body when you stop poisoning it every weekend. It becomes 10 times easier to transform your health. I know this because after 9 months of quitting, I did something I never thought would be possible for me anyway. I ran a half marathon. That's not meant to be like a humble brag. Some of you would think that's pathetic, but it's a testament to what's possible when you remove the obstacles you've placed in your own way. When you're not spending your weekends recovering from hangovers, you suddenly have more time and more energy for training and running. My sleep transformed from passing out to a peaceful sleep. Mental clarity became my new normal. Anxiety and stress levels dropped. Though they didn't disappear, turns out I am still human. It might not be like a direct result from quitting alcohol, but I know I feel healthier mentally and physically than I did 1 year ago. You want to know the fastest way to build wealth? It's to stop spending money on $15 cocktails, 2 a.m. Uber rides, hangover fast food, getting just one more round. The amount of money you save from not drinking is actually insane. But the real wealth isn't really in your bank account, it's actually in your calendar. When you're not spending your Sundays recovering from Saturday nights, you suddenly have 52 days per year to live your life. That's nearly 2 months of extra time. Think about what you could do with that time. Here's where I'll probably lose some of you. I don't think alcohol is the enemy. People have been drinking for centuries. Some of the happiest, most successful people I know in my life enjoy their drinks regularly. When I was backpacking with my best friend, even the hungover mornings were filled with joy because I actually was enjoying my life. The problem isn't alcohol, it's why you're drinking it. If you're using alcohol to escape a life you don't enjoy, you're not fixing anything. I quit because I realized I was drinking to feel confident in social situations, escape from negative emotions and stress, fitting in with what everyone else was doing, and I was avoid facing the certain truths about my life. So ask yourself, why are you drinking? If you're curious about taking a break from drinking, here's what I've learned. Number 1, you start with a defined period. You don't have to commit to this forever, that's just too overwhelming and probably will set you up for failure. Start with a month, see how you feel. I began with dry January, then extended to 3 months when I started noticing changes. The key is to make it feel achievable. So find your why. Mine was getting my mental and physical health back on track. I was tired of waking up with hangovers and the feeling of sadness and regret even days after I drank. Your why needs to be stronger than the social pressure to drink. Maybe it's training for a race, saving for a house, or simply wanting to feel clear-headed every morning. Write it down, look at it when things get tough. Why aren't you drinking? Becomes the most common question you'll probably hear. Have an answer ready, but don't feel like you have to explain yourself. People don't care as much as you think. They're usually just curious or just processing their own relationship with alcohol. I started with, I'm doing a challenge, and I eventually moved to a simple, I don't drink. The less you make a big deal out of it, the less others will too. Notice your triggers. When do you crave a drink the most? What are you really craving in those moments? For me, it was when I was most lonely or stressed. I wasn't craving alcohol, but I was craving connection and relaxation. Once I realized this, I could find better ways to decompress, like a long walk or a good workout or talking to a friend. Pay attention to those patterns. The craving usually isn't the alcohol itself, but what you think alcohol gives you. Confidence, relaxation, escape, or connection. Don't wait for invitations to drinking events. Be proactive. Show others that socializing without alcohol isn't just possible, it can actually be more meaningful. I lost some drinking buddies, but developed deeper friendships and gained friends who shared my interests beyond drinking. Always have an exit strategy for situations that feel overwhelming, like keeping a non-alcoholic drink in your hand at parties if it makes you feel comfortable. Drive yourself so you can have control over when you leave. Remember, you don't have to stay anywhere that doesn't serve your goals. The power isn't in the perfect execution of these steps, it's in the awareness that each create. Each time you navigate a situation without alcohol, you're building evidence that you can handle your life on your own terms. 1 year sober has taught me this. The goal isn't about never drinking again. The goal was to reach a place where you don't need to drink to feel complete, confident, or connected. Will I ever drink again? Maybe, maybe not. But I know that either way, I'll be okay because I'm building a life that doesn't require escaping from. And I think that's worth more than a drink could ever offer.